It was a chilly autumn morning when I first noticed the subtle cracks in my marriage. Emily and I had been married for 12 years, and while we'd had our ups and downs, I'd always thought we were solid. That belief was shaken one day when she came, home from work visibly upset, slamming the door behind her. "Everything okay?" I asked, looking up from the book I was reading. She hesitated, then shook her head. "It's just a rough day at the office. Nothing to worry about." But I could tell it wasn't just work. Emily had been distant for weeks, her phone always glued to her hand, her laughter reserved for messages she wouldn't share. I dismissed it as work stress or the ebb and flow of a long marriage. But something felt off. The days turned into weeks and her behavior grew more erratic. She'd leave for girls' nights that seemed to happen more frequently and return home hours later than expected. When I asked her about it, she'd wave me off with a dismissive comment about losing track of time. One night, curiosity got the better of me. She'd left her phone on the kitchen counter while she stepped into the shower. My heart pounded as I picked it up, feeling a mix of guilt and desperation. I unlocked it. Her passcode was still the same, and opened her messages. There it was, a thread with someone named Mike. The messages were filled with flirtation, compliments, and plans to meet. My hands trembled as I scrolled through the conversation, each word a dagger to my chest. Emily wasn't just distant. She was having an affair. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I sat alone in the living room, replaying every moment in our marriage that had led to this. The betrayal cut deep, but I needed to know more before I decided what to do next. The following week, I began to piece together the puzzle. Emily's work dinners and girls' nights coincided with her meetings with Mike. She'd lied to my face, and I believed Herbie because I trusted her. But now that trust was gone. Then one evening, Emily came home in tears. She slammed her purse onto the counter and collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. "Emily, what's going on?" I asked, trying to sound concerned rather than accusatory. Through her sobs, she muttered, "He cheated on me." My mind raced. "Who?" I asked, though I already knew the answer. "Mike," she whispered. "I thought he cared about me, but he was seeing someone else this whole time." The irony was almost too much to bear. My wife, who had betrayed me, was now heartbroken because the man she cheated with had betrayed her too. I stood there, torn between anger and a dark sense of vindication. "I'm sorry, Emily," I said finally, my voice even. "That must be really hard for you?" She looked up at me, her eyes red and puffy. "You have no idea how much it hurts," she said, and I had to bite my tongue to keep from laughing bitterly. Oh, I knew exactly how much it hurt. Over the next few days, Emily's mood oscillated between anger and despair. She ranted about Mike's lies, his audacity, his betrayal. Meanwhile, I listened quietly, trying to process my own emotions. Part of me wanted to confront her, to throw her own hypocrisy back in her face. But another part of me wanted to see how far this would go. One evening, as she vented about Mike yet again, I decided it was time to address the elephant in the room. "Emily," I said, interrupting her mid-sentence, "do you realize what you're saying?" She frowned. "What do you mean? You're angry at Mike for lying to you, for cheating on you? But what about what you've done to me?" Her face went pale. "What are you talking about?" "I know about you and Mike," I said, my voice calm but firm. "I know about the messages, the meetings, the lies." She stared at me, her mouth opening and closing as she struggled to find words. I didn't mean for it to happen," she said finally, her voice barely above a whisper. "But it did," I replied. "And now you're sitting here heartbroken because the man you cheated with cheated on you. Do you see the irony in that?" Tears welled up in her eyes. I'm sorry," she said. "I never meant to hurt you." Said, my voice breaking, "You made a choice, Emily, and now we both have to live with the consequences." That night, I packed a bag and left. I didn't know where I was going, but I needed space to think. I checked into a hotel and spent the night staring at the ceiling, playing the events of the past few weeks in my mind. The betrayal, the lies, the heartbreak, it all felt overwhelming. But beneath the pain, a sense of clarity began to emerge. I realized that I deserved better. I deserved honesty, respect, and love. Emily had made her choices, and now it was time for me to make mine. In the weeks that followed, I focused on rebuilding my life. I found a small apartment, reconnected with old friends, and started therapy to work through my emotions. It wasn't easy, but each day felt like a step toward healing. Emily reached out several times, begging for forgiveness, asking for another chance, but I couldn't go back. The trust we'd built over 12 years was gone, shattered by her actions. Forgiveness was one thing, but rebuilding what we'd lost was another. One day, she showed up at my door, tears streaming down her face. "Please," she said, "I've made so many mistakes, but I love you. I want to fix this." I looked at her, my heart heavy. "Emily, I forgive you," I said, "but I can't come back. We've both been hurt, and I think it's time we let each other go." She sobbed, but she didn't argue. Maybe she knew I was right. Maybe she'd finally realized the depth of the damage she'd done. Looking back, I realized that Emily's affair and its fallout had taught me an important lesson. Betrayal can break you, but it can also set you free. It's a chance to reevaluate your life, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to build something better. I didn't know what the future held, but for the first time in years, I felt hopeful, and that was enough.